This is Phyllis Wheeler with today's author visit to your homeschool, brought to you by New Classics Study Guides, free literature units for homeschooling at newclassicsstudyguides.com. Today, our featured author is Susan K. Marlow, author of the Andy Carter books. These books tell the story of a young girl living on an early California ranch. So here's a question for her today. You have lived on a farm. How did that help you when you were writing the Andy Carter series?
Well, living on a farm, you have a lot of exposure to different things that happen with animals, and a lot of them are unexpected and unwelcome. But I've been able to use some incidences to incorporate them, especially in the younger kids' books. We had a rooster, and I don't remember his name, but that thing was mean. And he would chase my 5-year-old son around. And once my son put his face to the chicken pen, he was not very nice. He liked to tease him, and he got what he deserved. The rooster pecked him and would chase him around. My husband had to go after with a 2x4, the rooster, not the child. But I used that as in my first of the series, Annie's Pony Trouble. And I have her little friend Riley chasing a rooster that is going after Andy, and she's carrying the egg basket and all the eggs fall and everything like that. So I've been able to use that. And another one is I have Andy's mare foaling, and it's not identical, but we have had our share of difficult goat births with our dairy goats. And so I was able to use some of my experience on how you're feeling when something's going wrong with the birth, and then able to incorporate the emotional aspect and stuff into the books because of some of our disastrous farm experiences. So.
Have you ever cried over any of your stories while you're writing them?
I actually have I have one book. It's called The Last Ride. And in it, well, I don't want spoiler alerts, but something really bad happens to Andy's horse, Taffy, her beloved friend since the time she was 6 years old. And as I'm writing it, I mean, I can just feel all the emotions welling up, and I'm kind of crying. And I wrote the book in scenes. That was one of those books that had no ending. And I wrote it in scenes. I sent that scene to my sister, and she called and told me she just bawled her head off in that scene. So not usually, but that book I do remember as being a real tearjerker.
So why did you pick near Fresno, California as your main setting rather than where you live?
You know, a lot of people ask me that. And what I did is I looked at the map. I'm in Washington State. And at the time I was writing the books, we were in Western Washington, and all it does there is rain, and it's muddy. And I could set a logging story in Seattle maybe because of the history there, but I wanted to do ranching and horses because those are real popular. And I saw Washington in the 1800s was not going to be realistic. I couldn't have a lot of action going on when it rains all the time. And the mud hole of Seattle was just a mud hole. So I looked on the map, and one of my favorite TV Westerns happened to be in California. I love the area. So I just saw which city is a city in 1880 that's nearest the mountains and easy access by train to San Francisco. And I just looked on the map. Fresno, there it is. It's close to the mountains. It's a small town of about 1,000 in 1880. San Francisco is a rip-roaring city, so I can have adventures on the ranch and I can have adventures in the city. That's the reason. And it doesn't rain there. I could have a lot of outside adventures. So that's the reason.
Very cool. So I'm wondering why your daughter went there. Is it because of your books? Your daughter lives there, right?
Yes, my daughter lives in Andy Country by just coincidence, because she was living in Washington all her life, and her husband was offered a super job in California, and they ended up buying a little mini horse ranch up towards the foothills in that same kind of general area. So it's been wonderful to be able to go there and affirm that, yes, I wrote it accurately, because I've been up and down a lot getting the scene, and but when I actually live there all winter, it's really really special to be able to see that I did do it accurately, and have been able to find other things for it. But yeah, they moved there because of a job. So
Well, well,
yeah,
thank you so much, Susan.
you're welcome.
And we'll see you all next time, folks.